And that comes with an interesting question again. And who are your consultants? Generally, these days, a lot of customers are visiting multiple projects to take a decision. And now buyers are well educated about high-rise towers, thanks to social media, thanks to the digital platforms that giving a lot of information about real estate. So, who are your consultants?
Primarily, like architect Sudhir Associates. Sudhir Uncle has been like our go-to architect, I think, for the last 15, 18 years. Typically, right, like with a high-rise structure, the architect's design has to be brought into life on paper first. So then you need the structural engineers, the structural designers. Then we have Design Tree, who is our primarily structural engineer. The peer review for structural engineering is done by Sterling, Bombay. They've done for like quite a few of the high rises in Bombay. Then we have IIT Chennai, who has also looked through the building, because we fall under the tall building code. Like we are 239 meters. So anything above 170 meters, we need a government body to, I mean, IIT, one of the IITs to sign off on the structural. Yeah. Okay. I think right now, if it is below 170, we go to JNTU. But right? Above like anything above that, like you need one of the IITs to sign it off. Then one of the things that you have to be really careful, and everything is a lesson. We learn from what we see around us, right? Is the impact of wind on tall buildings. So we have a wind consultant called CPP. They are the original guys who thought into wind and its impact on buildings, tall buildings specifically. We do simulations for how wind is going to impact buildings in terms of where the stress is going to come from, which direction. If it keeps coming on one direction, then we need to balance it out. Then we need to understand what is going to be the impact of wind on the balconies, on the windows, on the doors. So once we take the input of the wind consultants, then we have our facade consultant, engineer, so that is being done by Envelope. They're the ones they're the ones who are doing I think SAS Crown. I don't want to name names, but that was one of the things that I looked into, like who has the expertise. Better to have somebody with expertise, either from outside, but I'd like to be national. Like anybody working in India, I like them. So facade consultant is then going to come in and tell us what should be the width of the glass, thickness of the glass. At the end of the day, like I'm saying, I'd like to know information, like all of us should know information of what goes on into our buildings much before than we build them. It's better to know every detail of the building now than get to that spot and then like you're in kind of trouble, right? So I think most of it is covered. We have somebody for vertical transportation, horizontal transportation. How is the traffic gonna flow within the community? How the lifts are gonna function? Then
the parking,
landscape. Naveen Associates. They've been in Hyderabad forever now. Because we also needed somebody who has the expertise to somehow I feel like we still have this inferiority as being an Indian. The moment I say I'll put a tree on the 50th floor, the average Indian will laugh.
Okay.
He's like, "Kya baat kar raha hai? Kyun lagana?" Right? I mean, that's how we have been. But I feel the change is coming. It's very visible. Now the young India is asking a question: how do I make it possible? Because I've seen it in so many places. You go to Singapore, you have like hanging gardens at 30th floor, 25th floor. I understand it's a tropical country. I understand it look greener. But I'm sure like we'll have something growing in our city. It's not like Hyderabad is a desert and we don't have trees anywhere. Right?
Yeah.
The underlying technology is what we should get after, right? Like, so if you want trees, then you need to hook them to the slab. If you want to hook them to the slab, that hook has to be placed in your design. If that hook is not placed in your design, then I can't have drilling in a high rise. That is absolute no-go. Like, I mean, why would I want to risk that? It's a big risk, right? Right? The reason why on the render you're gonna see a lot of trees, all architects, every project, we show beautiful trees on buildings. The reason why it does not come to fruition is not because we don't will to do it. We all want to put them there. But then the actual complications of putting them there, we think about it after doing the whole thing. And then you get to know, oh,
You can't do it.
I can't. Then it just becomes, okay, like, it's okay. But the idea is plan for it, like including our landscape, where the hook should be for the tree to be there. Like if a tree has to be there, then it needs to have a planter. Then because it's at a height, there has to be hooks to hold it down. There has to be planned, right? So it's a very close coordination between a lot of people, because the idea is once the design is frozen, we do not want to do any reworks, right? We took almost 2 years in design, like literally 2 years in design. Like nobody knew where Skyven was coming from, like where it's gonna be. Nobody knew the name.
True.
I think like we have
Only about 3 months ago.
yeah, only after we got RERA, like I think even now we don't advertise it a lot. Essentially we feel to be better, to be structured, to be very well planned, like before we execute. So those are all the consultants that we have, and we work very closely with them. It's not just that they're there, and because we are 7 of us and all of us have different questions, and all of us need answers to those questions in some way or the other, right? Some of the things we wanted for sure, an infinity pool to chahiye, right?
It almost took us 3 or 4 months of working and consulting and
Coordinating with all the vendors.
all the consultants for us to get a clear picture of, okay, is it possible or is it not possible? How is, if there is an earthquake, what is going to happen? If there is too much wind, what is going to happen? So there is everything that we gave that time to those consultants to go through, to thoroughly check. And for us, having those consultants is something that we want to be able to answer to somebody who's buying into Skyven, right? Our question is like, we are 7 of us, we are sitting in the meeting room and we are asking questions, we are questioning certain designs, right? But again, when the customer is coming to us, we are in an age group of 27 to 27 to just 40, right? That is the maximum age range that you have between all of us. And people are asking, how are you even, forget about construction, how are you even going to deliver a 63 floor tower, right? We know we are going to be able to deliver because of all the beautiful consultants that we have. They are doing exactly the work that they are supposed to do. And it's not like we randomly picked somebody. We went through a lot of, okay, what if we pick this person? What if we went for an architect, we went to Dubai to find architects. We went to Singapore to find architects. We even consulted with architects from New York, right? Narrowed down to Sudhir uncle, because for the questions that we were asking, we were getting ready answers. If we want to make changes in the design, or if we want to ask so many questions, a consultant from somewhere else will not be able to understand our thought process.
True, he's more accessible here.
He's more accessible.
I can call him, I'm like, uncle, I'm thinking this, is it possible?
Yeah.
He's like, give me some time, I'll let you know.
Okay.
And that sometime is usually days.
Yes.
Like 1 or 2 days is much better than like, us waiting for like them to come back. Like that flexibility in design, you need people who locally.
Coming to price, Kokapet lo, if you see last maybe 1.5 year, the price barrier akkade agipoyindi around 10,000 plus or minus 2 based on 2,000 based on the brand, based on the location. So if you see this in other cities, Bangalore or Gurgaon or Chennai, almost ikkada 50 crores nunchi 100 crores range lo property prices unnai, land prices. Chennai lo kuda ade cost lo unna property selling at 20, Bangalore also selling at 20, whereas Gurgaon is selling at 40, 50, Mumbai selling at almost again 50 plus per SFT. Why is Hyderabad offering these kind of towers at 10,000 plus?
Okay. So I think this is the sacrifice all the developers are making. I know this is very controversial. Bear with me on this.
Sure.
This is the sacrifice developers are making for what the unlimited FSI did to Hyderabad, right?
Okay.
To get a skyline, right? At the end of the day, like I know the popular public perception is the developer is extremely greedy. I don't think a lot of us are, right? Like I've met like a lot of developers all my life. They are regular people who are doing regular businesses, right? It's just like we are looking at them from a different lens, right? Now what happens like in Hyderabad with that unlimited FSI is the supply side of it, we could increase a lot in a very narrow space, right? So by doing that, the advantage the city is gaining is an amazing skyline which will come to fruition in 5 years, and after that the economics of why we did this unlimited FSI will suddenly change.
Yes.
Suddenly you have this beautiful monument, tourism will increase, a lot of other things can go for our side. The moment like we had something like unlimited FSI, it gave somebody like us an opportunity to say how high can I go,
True.
right?
True.
Now everybody wants to think the same way, like how high can we go, right?
True.
So we all went high. Like if I went high, you go high, everybody
Yes.
goes high. Why?
Yes.
Right? Now what happens is it will create in that micro market, it will create an oversupply versus demand.
Demand. True.
It's a micro market issue.
Correct.
Because at the end of the day, if I look at it on a large macro market format for supply demand in housing, the supply demand is broken in our country. The demand is so high, the supply cannot match. I think at least for the next 5-10 years, we cannot house every young Indian just now. There's
Yes.
so much more housing that is required
Yes.
at the macro level. But in that Kokapet Neopolis micro market, oversupply, demand exists, but oversupply, now once oversupply happens, I mean basic economics,
Yes.
price
Price
cannot be pushed up.
Yes.
So it stagnates around the 10,000 pluses. And I feel, again, this is my opinions, it will be around the same area, I think at least for the next 6 months to 9 months. I think once the launches stop, right, I think there are, you are the expert in this field, I think there are 2 or 3 more launches left.
In this year at least.
In the Neopolis area. I think 3, 4, yeah. If like the new auction does not happen immediately, I mean, that is for the government to decide, but on what were auctioned, I think 3 are left to be. Now once that happens, the obvious oversupply will start reducing, right? Because you cannot create fresh land. And in the Kokapet Neopolis area, the blockage from the lake, which is the blessing, and the 111 Geo, which is a blessing,
Again. Yeah.
right? And then the ORR, it's gonna do a nice trifecta for any investor. This is again my personal opinion. Yeah, please don't invest anything because I'm saying, think it through. The best time to be in the west, specifically Neopolis, Kokapet, Gandipet, to invest is in the next 6 to 9 months. Primarily because after that, once new launches keep stopping, your
The price is
oversupply
going
problem will go down, right? This oversupply is an artificial oversupply because unlimited FSI was given and all of us
And
wanted
majority
to.
of the projects started at
at the same time.
Same time.
Now-
And majority of the handovers are
At the same
not
time.
majority, I would say.
All of them.
Most of
29,
the
30.
all the
Yeah.
tall
Yes.
towers are going to be handed over at the
29,
same
30.
time.
So what happens is, after those 5 years, you do not have extra land in Kokapet and
Yeah.
Neopolis and stuff like that. Then you're gonna see the nice projections, beauty, hockey stick graphs and all that.
So what do you think by 2030, what would be the price in and around Neopolis and Kokapet? What is
Not
it?
a speculative guy. Like I do not like speculation a lot. Like
No, but you need to sell at the end of the day, investors,
if
our
I'm-
customers.
if I'm being absolutely honest, like absolutely brutally, I feel a good price for the consumer, right? Like, see, there are two different things. What is a good price for me as a developer? I will tell what
Yes. Whatever.
like, నాకు ఎంత మంచిదో అంత better. But
Yeah.
for a consumer, where it's still value for the money, 15,000 per SFT will still be value for money, even though it look high.
Okay.
The actual market price could be much higher. But Kokapet is the only area where, 15,000 per SFT will feel like अरे ये तो chance property है.
So
By
he
2030.
asked by
Yeah.
2030.
Yeah, 2030
15.
also. That's it.
My
I am
guess
telling
is
you,
like 20,000, I'm guessing.
I want
for,
to be realistic about it, right?
Okay.
It will go higher than 20. By what I'm trying to explain over the last 40-45 minutes, if the steps that need to be taken by all players involved happen in the sequence that we are all imagining that they will happen, then the sky is the limit, right? Like, it's limitless.
Sure.
Why? Because the geographics, right? Like, you have the lake, you have 111 Geo, you have ORR, there's no more land, right? Eventually, the prices here are gonna skyrocket. Then you have the advantage of infrastructure focused at Kokapet and Neopolis. Now, today, if I have to come from Neopolis to Gachibowli, is 1 flyover, 2 flyover, 3 flyover, I'm in orbit,
Neopolis.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, currently,
Okay.
right? So, no, like, Avala. You said 20, I said 15, like, Rajshekhar Garu is saying higher than a developer.
I'm a sales guy, so.
My opinion is this, right? For it to reach 25, 30, it can reach 25, 30. For it to reach to those numbers, certain things have to follow going forward. One is you need recreational zones around the Gandipet Lake, where suddenly it becomes an aspiration to come there, take a picture.
True.
Brand recall is the best thing you can have, and organic brand recall is the best. Like, there is no alternative to it, right? Once it becomes a matter of public imagination, right? Everybody who comes to Hyderabad goes to that spot, takes a picture, and this beautiful skyline in the back, and everybody does that. Then you will see 25s, 30s, right? But as such, considering what is happening with Hyderabad's growth pattern also, like we are also in Tellapur, Kollur, now you have Budwel, right? We should, prices do not automatically keep doubling. There has to be certain things which are added for the momentum, like the headwinds. Neopolis got it beautifully, right? Neopolis got it fantastically, and the geography helps it, right? Now, the only thing that stops something from becoming, say, 25,000, 30,000 is the public infrastructure, is how the people who are moving into Kokapet behave, act, right? It's all of our responsibility.
True.
At the end of the day, the government can build a beautiful pier, right? And the local community does not take care of it the way it's supposed to be taken care of.
True.
Then it's no-brainer, right? Like it eventually is gonna go down.
True.
But Neopolis's advantages, or Neopolis, Kokapet, this nice triangle, is it's got everything in its favor to become the most happening spot in Hyderabad. In fact,
Entire India. Because
at the end of the day, you go to Bombay, more people go to the, what is that, South Bombay, like Haji Ali and like that area, and like there is
The
nice,
seaside.
right, like a decent beach, but nice skyline you will see.
Yes.
Right? Like everybody wants to go through. And you do that. Even going from Hyderabad, you will do the same behavior. Right? It's not about Hyderabad, Laleva, tall buildings, untai, but you still go to that area.
Yes.
Right? You go to Delhi, you go to house cars. You can go party anywhere, no?
Yeah.
Why do you go there?
Yes.
Right?
True.
That will build up for the Kokapet Neopolis area. And that will build up. It's just a matter of us giving it its time. Right? As a developer, if I start speculating, then I do not want to get into a position where it comes out like, sir, మీరు అప్పుడు ఆ పాడ్కాస్ట్లో ఇంత అవుతుంది అన్నారు, అంత అవ్వలేదు కదా. అంత అవ్వాలనే అందరు కోరుకుంటాం కదా. ఇప్పుడు మేము డెవలపర్ ఎవరైనా మేము కట్టింది పెరగొద్దని కోరుకుంటాము, పెరగాలనే కోరుకుంటాం కదా. Nobody, like the investor won't, builder won't, the landowner won't, nobody wants the price to be lower.
Right.
Right? But at the same time, we have to be really practical about where the city is currently. Between the Tellapur and the Budwell pressure that Neopolis will see in the next 2-3 years, it will. Let's be honest about it, and it is what it is. Because suddenly you can't have 10,000 and 20 minutes, 25 minutes each side. You will get 6,000, 7,000, 6,500, right? The only way that will push that 15,000 gap, right, and push it, if it pushes that, then it will continue to push beyond a point, right? Like, you look at Jubilee Hills, right? Do you think 10 years from now, Jubilee Hills land price will go down?
I don't think so.
Why is that?
I think it'll be just stagnant.
It will continue to grow. Why? Because you have a landmark here called the KBR. It is
Prior
one
2017,
aspiration across
everybody
Hyderabad.
said Jubilee Hills is like stagnated at 1.5 lakhs per square
Yeah.
yard. Now people are selling at 3.5 lakhs per square yard within 5 years.
Because KBR
Time.
became your aspiration, no? Arey city madhyana forest undanta. Like what you do in KBR, nobody. Right? Like similar areas. There is Banjara Hills. Right? Somajiguda was the original posh.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
True.
But Somajiguda didn't hold up that ground as much as Jubilee Hills did. Why? Because it entered people's imagination. Right? Now, entering into that public domain is not alone my responsibility. Or, I mean, it's not a developer's responsibility or the government's responsibility. It's the community and the way it will shape into the future. But Neopolis, Kokapet will be the best bet if you look at it across the next 15 years. The hockey stick growth, right?
Yeah.
It will happen. Like the best spot, if you want to speculate, is Neopolis. It's not what happens in 5 years, it's what happens in 15 years. And what happens in 15 years, Neopolis is much ahead than, or Neopolis, Kokapet, like that nice triangle they created, man. If you look at it at a 15-year lens, your return on investment on Neopolis will be significantly higher than any other area. Because it's got that nice trifecta brewing there. Social infrastructure, beautiful lake, tourism, and then
The wider roads also.
Yeah.
Schools, hospitals.
సార్ అవన్నీ మనం ఏరియాలన్నా కట్టొచ్చు. వాట్ వీ కెనాట్ బిల్డ్ ఇస్ హైదరాబాద్కి ఎవరికి వచ్చినా ఆడొచ్చి నేను ఫోటో దిగాలి.
Yeah.
Nice. Correct.
వన్స్ దాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్ ఇట్స్ డన్. లెట్స్ ఆల్ స్పెక్యులేట్. ఆడ 30,000 పోద్దా పోతుంది. ఎందుకు ఆడు ఇంకోటి రాదు కదా, ఆడున్నది అది ఒక్కటే.
See, generally customers perspective లో లాస్ట్ అంతకుముందు లేదు, బట్ లాస్ట్ 1.5 year నుంచి థ్యాంక్స్ టు సోషల్ మీడియా అగైన్, ట్విట్టర్ అండ్ ఆల్ అదర్ డిస్కషన్ ఫోరమ్స్, దర్ ఇస్ ఎ లాట్ ఆఫ్ డిబేట్ గోయింగ్ ఆన్. లో డెన్సిటీ వర్సెస్ హై డెన్సిటీ, హై రైజ్ వర్సెస్ లో రైజ్. అండ్ చాలామందికి మిస్కన్సెప్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి, రియాలిటీ కూడా ఉండొచ్చు. మిస్కన్సెప్షన్స్ ఏంటంటే మేము 40 floors 30 floors దాటితే మాకు దమ్ము ఆగదని, అట్లాంటి క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. అట్లాగే లిఫ్ట్ దగ్గర ప్రాబ్లం వస్తుంది అంటారు. ఆర్ సోషల్ అమ్యూనిటీస్ ఇన్ ద ప్రాజెక్ట్లో కంజెషన్ ఉంటుంది, ప్రాబ్లం వస్తుంది, మాకు అవైలబిలిటీ ఉండదు అని అట్లాంటి రెగ్యులర్ డిస్కషన్స్ వచ్చి చాలామంది డిస్కరేజ్ చేస్తున్నారు, డిస్కరేజ్ అవుతున్నారు. You are building 60+ floors towers in 2 acres land. So how did you manage?
Let me take on the design perspective or interiors or what you're saying, right? Elevators, we have 9 elevators. We have taken care of service elevators versus residential elevators. These elevators are going to be electronically managed, right? So we have planned for when, you know, it is peak times versus non-peak times. All of those are already taken into consideration. Talking about tall velte akkada, you know, the breadth or any of that. I've lived in a tall tower.
True.
When I was in US. It doesn't happen like that. We are at a 755 feet. There are so many more towers which are way taller than that.
True.
And such things are they don't happen.
True.
And design wise or the structure wise, we have taken care of all those questions, right? But Sneha can add.
Yes. So this again, like this is not me mocking a question or anything, but let's be like, when we are looking at heights, we all created this metric called above sea level, below sea level, right? I mean, our atmosphere does not care if I am building from ground here, something will happen, right? You know, something is somewhere else, something will happen, right? At Hyderabad, we are at a level, right? We are at a lower level, it's a gradient downward, like that's why our rivers flow like this. Okay, so I don't want to say a number and then be wrong about it, but say, take whatever sea level Hyderabad is, right? That is the level of height at which we are from the sea level. Now, Delhi is higher than Hyderabad. Agreed?
Yes.
Remove the pollution aside. Do you think people in Delhi can't breathe? I mean, atmosphere does not work that way. It does not do math based on ground nunchi, e ground
How
nunchi
long?
60 paiki ellavu. It works, I mean, any fluid, right? It moves into pressure zones.
It's true.
Right? I mean, low pressure to I don't know, high pressure to low pressure. That circle will happen, right? So now, if topographically, if the earth is given us those heights, albeit like certain 1,000 kilometers away, there are so many places higher than Hyderabad at a sea level, and we all go enjoy, and none of us lose breath. That losing breath happens when you're probably climbing 6,000 meters, 5,000 meters above sea level and stuff like that. Now, there are more like questions on that, right? Like this is like a really good thought experiment I like to sleep with sometimes in the night, like when I'm bored. It's like there is a very interesting argument on how going tall is much better for the environment than, not just for the environment, for the efficiency gains, for everything, as opposed to going anywhere linearly. This is if we are all looking at the bigger picture. Now, it might look counterintuitive. The immediate response from the other side will be, you use more steel, you use more concrete. Most of the pollution happens during mining and stuff like that, right? Agreed. But if you do the math, there are 210 units in Skyven. Each one is 6,000 SFT. Now, if I convert it into a villa, right? 6,000 SFT villa, 400 square yards, right?
Right.
4,800 square yards, 1 acre.
Right.
I'll only get 60% of it. The rest of it should be roads and all of that.
True.
That means in 1 acre I can get what? Probably 6 to 8
villas.
6 to 8 villas.
True.
Right? 1 acre. Now I have 210 units. Now spread it horizontally. Right? Now you have got into 24, 25 acres.
True.
Right? And we are all talking about saving the world. Right?
Land.
Now you are building concrete on it. Right? Now the argument goes, I can do sinks. Agreed. Brilliant. We should all do rainwater harvesting. I'm not against villas. We build villas too. Right? Now we all build rainwater harvesting sinks. Right? And then we will import our landscape from all across the world, and we will put flowers and trees which don't belong here. We will beautify the place to the way we like it to be.
True.
Right? At some point they should stop, right? Right? At some point in human growth, we should stop claiming land which could have been left untouched.
True.
Right? It's a simple thing.
Yes.
If Hyderabad continues to grow the way it's growing laterally with lower densities, Hyderabad is already a pretty large city.
True.
Like in terms of HMDA's
Limit, yeah, almost 100 kilometers end
it's
to end.
so huge. I think only the Delhi, the national capital region, is bigger than Hyderabad.
True.
Right? What is the need for Hyderabad to be so wide?
Recent studies also say that Hyderabad density is higher than Delhi now, population density.
So now, if I have to keep pushing wider and wider and wider and wider, how am I going to manage sewage? Right? Look at the pressure on the government also, right? Like, how are we going to manage sewage? The problem, right? Like, I feel like some of the things that the new India is seeing, like, which it's a fortune for us to be at this position. It's not something the young generation did that they are able to think differently. It's just they got lucky. The entire generations, 2-3 generations from when we got independence went from basic food to education to where we are today, right? One of the reasons I feel we didn't progress as much as like the smaller countries that they say is because they were hyper dense. Now, when they were hyper dense, went tall much before we did. Take Singapore, take Kuala Lumpur,
Right.
take Hong Kong. When they did that, they had to come up with specialized solutions, right? Your sewage, the pipelines have to be bigger. If the pipelines have to be bigger, how is the flow being managed? Then they figured out, okay, I can have air pumps in it, have an airflow, right? Then they figured out, right? The question was bigger. If we continue to do what we've been doing for 50 years, when are we gonna ask ourselves the bigger question, right? If you're gonna say the water supply is gonna work like this, we are gonna use this diameter of pipe and we are gonna use technology which has been existent for 60 years, 70 years, and let's all be happy on a political debate or low density, high density and everything. But true gain will only come when we are doing something which is not the easy thing to do.
True.
Right? So when we are seeing high rises, essentially the point of it is the city has to stop growing somewhere, right? At least the urban living population has to stop growing somewhere. Let our future generations also see are akada forest unde antara bhai, right? Eventually ఇప్పుడు చూడండి మహేశ్వరం నేను చిన్నప్పుడు ఎప్పుడు పోయినప్పుడు ఆడ మంచిగా రైతులు అందరూ వేస్తుండే ఏదో ఒకటి. ఐ మీన్ నౌ దే డోంట్, దే జస్ట్ ఆడ ప్లాట్లు అయిపోయినాయి, అందరు హ్యాపీ ఉన్నారు. అరే వై షుడ్ ఐ ఫార్మ్? So what happens? These guys move to the next zone. They move to the next zone, right? Eventually, the city for urban residential has to have a cap somewhere. And that cap can only come when the high rises start coming up. The next thing, living experience, right? It matters a lot, right? If you are living in a 10-acre gated community or a 15-acre gated community, you can walk down, you will have a 1.5 kilometer track, right? That is gonna be there by the nature of the project. Now, why 2 acres and the high rise? For everything you gain some, you lose some.
True.
Right? For a 2-acre project, I can't give you a 1.5 kilometer walkway. I mean, that's practically not possible. Why do that comparison? But what we can guarantee you is a view which won't get obstructed by your own project. Right?
Yeah.
Most times, this I have observed so many places. If you have a view of, say, lake view, there are some places. Or my house currently where I live. We have this nice buffer in the back, right? The norms, we had to leave buffer. We left buffer and we put trees. Lots of trees. My curtains are not shut. Right? Why? Because I know there's nobody from the other side who can look at me. Right? Most people don't use balconies. Right? If you go towards Amirpet, the balcony is there for utility, not just Amirpet, Kondapur, Madhapur, where the so-called low density have all popped up right next to each other. The balcony will be only used as a utility space.
True.
Right? Batalutkesam, RSM. If somebody is interested in growing something, they grow, done. Right? For the balcony to become that spot where I make coffee and make this voluntary decision, దాన్ని ఆన్సర్ పట్టుకొని నేను ఈ బాల్కనీలో వచ్చి కూర్చొని హ్యాపీగా ఎంజాయ్ చేయాలి అంటే నా పక్కన ఇంకోటి ఉండొద్దు. రైట్? ఇట్స్ యాజ్ సింపుల్ యాజ్ దాట్. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఈడ బాల్కనీ ఉంది, నాకు ఆడ ఇంకో బాల్కనీ కనిపిస్తుంది. at some point I'll be అరే ఏం రబా ఇది నేను ఏదో నా హాల్లో కూర్చొని తాగుతా కదా, నేను బనియాన్ వేసుకున్నా వాట్ ఎవర్, ఐమ్ వేరింగ్ అ బాక్సర్, why will I come out? But there are pros and cons to everything. I'm not saying high rises are the solution to all world's problems, but at the same time there's no need to demonize a high rise. Right? When we look at any subject, right, there is a reason why the entire world went to building high. One is to satisfy our egos, like how tall can we go? That was the question always for humans, no? Otherwise we would have been living in caves, no?
Yes.
We got out of that is because of that obvious question, what else can I do next? Right? Like, so high rise, low rise, pros and cons.
True.
You can't convince this as an experiment. Try it. You can't convince somebody who wants to buy a villa to buy an apartment.
Yes.
Impossible.
I was gonna come.
There is no way you're gonna win that argument.
Yes.
It's simple. We are such a big country.
True.
Why should I convince somebody who is hell bent on living in a villa to buy an apartment?
True.
At the same time, there are people who are willing to live in apartments. It's not like nobody wants to live. A classic example I've seen in my own house, right? Like we live in this nice house. We have a lawn, right? And we have plants and trees inside the house, a lawn on the first floor. Oh, like, you know, my father loves gardening, farming. He's full-time farmer now, mostly, I think. Right? Now, my father recently is like, "Are naak enduk ra idanni? Neen kuda Skyven la తీసుకుంటా." I'm like, "But you enjoy this." I'm like, "I'll go to the farm and I'll enjoy this." Right? I'm like, "Why?" And then he's like, "Are gardener radu idi radu," and all, like something. Then I actually thought about it for like, okay, 1-2 days. Then it hit me. Like, this is so true, it hit me so deep. If you have water leakage, what will you do? Plumber raatledu. You will shut off water for that side of your house. This happens in every house. ఆడ ఏదో ఒక వాల్వ్ ఉంటుంది, అది బంద్ చేస్తాము, మిగతా పనులు మనం మిగతా చేసుకుంటూ పోతాం. రైట్? సేమ్ థింగ్. ఎలక్ట్రిసిటీ ఫ్లక్చుయేషన్, ఎంసీబీ మారుస్తారు, అయిపోయింది. రైట్? యువర్ మేడ్, క్లీనింగ్కి మేడ్ రావట్లేదు, ఓకే, యుల్ బై రోబోస్. అరే నువ్వు విల్లా కదరా, నువ్వు 4 కొనుక్కుంటావు. రైట్? యూ పుట్ రోబోస్ ఫర్ క్లీనింగ్, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఇస్ సార్టెడ్, అంతా మంచిగా హ్యాపీగా ఉంది. రైట్? ఇన్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ దీస్ యాక్టివిటీస్, ఇఫ్ దట్ పర్సన్ హూ కమ్స్ డస్ నాట్ కమ్, నథింగ్ ఇస్ డైయింగ్.
Okay.
The only activity where the person who's supposed to come take care of that garden, if your gardener doesn't come, 1 week he does not come. Like usually he comes every 15 days, manlo, right? To trim the lawn. He does not come that 15th day. Your lawn is gonna look overgrown.
Right.
The first moment you come out of your house and you see your lawn is untidy, everything in your house is tidy, clean. You come out, your lawn is untidy, first thing your mood is screwed. Are vad raale. Right? Now if that fellow does not come for 1 more month, it overgrows to a point where you will take measures into your house, నీ ఇష్టం వచ్చినట్టు కట్ చేసుకుంటూ పోతాం. Right?
True.
Now if he says he does not come 1 more level, okay, 2 months రాలే, plants will start dying. They're living things. Right? There is no automation yet when it comes to maintaining landscapes. Right? A lot of people have emotional attachments to landscapes too. Now, most of them, like, I mean, I don't know about most, at least like my immediate family, like my mother or my father, I can see anytime a plant dies, they feel bad. And we are not gardeners or we are not farmers because we have been away from that for so long. ఇప్పుడు సడన్గా నాకు తీరిక ఉంది, నాకు టైం ఉంది, నాకు ఓపిక ఉంది, నాకు గార్డెన్ ఉంది, నేను బెస్ట్ తోటమాలని అయిపోతా అంటే అవ్వలేం కదా. There are certain things that we need to know about gardening. There is a certain way you till the soil. నువ్వు ఏడబడతా తీసుకుపోయి అంటే అది నెక్స్ట్ డే చచ్చిపోతుంది బికాస్ యు ఆర్ గెటింగ్ టు ద like you know the wrong route, you are affecting it the wrong way. Not every plant needs tilling the same way. అది మనకు తెలియదు. Right? Like so it's like the villa buyer, it's not like villa owners are also willing to come to an apartment. Like Skyven, like we see a lot of inquiries from villa owners in Jubilee Hills who have come to a point like where...
No, I've seen many of my friends who bought large size villas in Mokila, Kollur area. They already selling it off and coming back to the city and buying an apartment or renting an apartment and coming back. సో ఆ ట్రెండ్ చూస్తున్నా రీసెంట్గా, ఎందుకంటే మెయింటెనెన్స్ హ్యాస్ బికమ్ డిఫికల్ట్. యూ నీడ్ అట్లీస్ట్ 2 to 3 people to manage the villa.
And that gardener suddenly becomes God, man. He is though, like, but still.
eventually when you're looking at how it is going to progress, right, it is going to become rare and rare for us to find the right resources. Even for, if there are so many, like at least our generation, both couple are working outside, no matter how much you have a person living in the house also, resources, if they are not right, it's more adding to the pressure than the way you're enjoying it. True. Right? When you live in an apartment, you want to go out, lock it and leave. You don't have external things that you have to maintain. The association maintains it for you. You can still enjoy the beauty of it while you have shared resources among these 210 apartments that, you can still enjoy that view.
True.
Right?
And another thing, 2 acres, small walking track, I feel the best walks. The best walks in Kokapet area. We have 2 beautiful places. If anybody is interested, there is Forest Trek Park in Koka,
True, near Narsinghi. Yeah.
Yes, amazing place to go walk because you are actually hearing birds and a lot of activity going on. Then you have Goshala, really nice place.
You also have a beautiful Kokapet park.
Yeah, it's more I'm talking untouched.
There is also fourth park near the other side of the lake, which is called Eco Park. Whale Eco Park is also operational.
But those are I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying they're very curated by human. Everything is straight lines. Only we like straight lines. God likes chaos. He likes chaos 100%. We love our straight line. True. Like the Gandipet Lake, straight lines, good spot.
It's not planned is what you mean.
It is extremely planned. You go to Goshala or Forest Trek Park.
These are not planned.
They are natural.
They are natural, right? And you genuinely see. I'll tell you something, okay? Tell me this, if any, even the viewers, probably think about it, right? You go to a fancy resort, right? There are all sorts of tropical trees around you, right? All sorts of tropical trees around you. You will get some feeling. I'm not saying I will Patichko. You will get Manchugandra. The same trees, you go to some, Kerala Bondi, some homestay. One Indian kalabarutune.
Yes.
You will get different feeling, no?
Yes, for sure.
Because you are closer to the nature and your mind knows. Right? The moment I build, if I am building vertical gardens, it's nice to look at. But imagine you going to a hill and the hill has nice moss or some nice creepers. You will get a kick out of it.
Correct.
Right? At the end of the day, we are built to enjoy nature. And nature does not like orderly stuff. It is chaotic. Right? I know that the 2 acre lot, but I am saying you are living in a district where you are so blessed that you can walk to the Goshala from where Skyven is. And Goshala is a nice place, it's untouched. Keep walking, you will hear peacocks. You don't see peacocks in gated communities, although they all live around our communities. I hear peacocks every day, right? I stay same Gandipet area. We hear peacocks all the time, but they don't come inside the gated community. Why? Because even it knows everything we are growing in order, everything straight lines, everything has to be perfect. So we use something, it won't have enough food over there, which naturally it's available when the bush grows and insects are there and all that, right? So if you really want to enjoy nature, the best thing is step out. If you're not stepping out too far, then you won the location jackpot. And Gandipet is where the project is. I think that is one of the places, right? Where you have access to these amazing topographies. It's just not straight lines. It's the Forest Trek Park has, I think, 5 different treks. You can climb up hills, and they're amateur treks.
It is pretty similar to the KBR Park concept.
Right.
It is really beautiful, as Nath is saying. But we still didn't compromise on the facilities that we are providing on that 2 acres itself.
Yes.
There is a walking track on the ground floor.
On the 62nd floor.
There is a walking track on the 62nd floor, right? And it's not small. If you're lazy, you don't want to go to one of these parks, you can still walk in your community.
Nice.
You want the rush? Walk at 62nd floor.
So now coming to the cost part.
So cost for the customer or cost for me to build?
For the customers. The pricing.
Both. People want to know how much money you'll make. So.
No. I'm not against saying how much money I'll make. So okay, let's start the question from the cost side, and then we'll build to what is the price we are selling it.
Okay.
Right? Somewhere close to, because it's 63 stories. Like I'll tell you, if you're building a 5-story, probably 2200, 2400, we can finish it, right? Like if I'm doing somewhere 18 floors, somewhere around there, we'll probably able to do 28, 3000. 26 to 30, we'll be able to do 3.5. 40, we'll be able to do 4. But then the moment it became 60, it is costing us 5,200 around there on the total built up. Now then I have to add the land cost to it, right? Like at the end of the day, land is not free,
Yes.
right? Like as
Yes.
a developer, the cost of the land is on the developer.
True.
Naku landing Skyven, it's coming somewhere between 7,200 to 7,300, 3-4% plus minus.
Yeah, also add marketing costs,
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Now those are again costs which depends entirely on me, right? Now currently we are selling at 9,499 plus. I think we are priced well.
Okay.
Like we are not like super heavily priced because we want to be realistic in our approach to the market. We are young.
9499.
Yes.
Plus.
Now again, these are questions I've heard, right? Like these are questions I've heard because right now the consumer is not the same consumer who was 15 years ago. He's not
Yes.
somebody who's coming with 20 years of experience. Go and sir, na dega double unnai, na killicheshen chal. Now, like the consumer is really smart, and it's a good thing. He's really smart. He's looking through for more. He wants to know how much carpet area,
Yeah.
right? These are important things, right? Like how much carpet area is there. What you're loading common areas. But
Floor height is one of the
yeah,
USP,
floor
right,
height.
which you
We do like
We
I
have 12 feet.
12 feet.
12 feet.
Yeah.
floor height.
Then common area loading, I think for 4,350 SFT is what you're getting for a 5,600 flat.
About 25, 28?
25%.
25.
That is the lowest I feel in that micro market, right? Like I was just dabbling with ChatGPT yesterday. Like, can you do
What
me a
would
nice?
be the UDS for 4,500 is 4,000?
I think around
5,600. Yeah.
29.
29 square units.
Oh yeah, UDS. So that will be another.
That will be another question
Yeah.
commonly asked by customers.
Again, like the thing with UDS, right? Like especially like the way we look at it, we assume all land is the same, right? If I go like 150 meters from the 150 feet nice big road, say I have a 45 feet access road, I might be getting a UDS of 100 there because it's gonna be a low density project, G+4, 500 square yards, అందరూ ఒక్కొక్కటి కొనుక్కున్నారంటే 100 గజాలు వస్తుంది. Not denying. Actually, you need to buy 1,000 to get the 5,500 SFT. So you will get 200 square yards, right? But eventually, you will always be restricted by what can you build on it.
True. Future.
Right?
In future.
Today, you might be getting 200 UDS, but that's not a commodity,
True.
right? Even if it were a commodity, suddenly tomorrow, on the same 45 feet access road, you're not going to get a high rise,
True.
right? It's anti-regulatory, right?
True.
So now, if I do the UDS comparison, like if you want to like look at the main road of Jubilee Hills, 36, or like the main road of Gandipet, obviously the yield is gonna be lower than say 150 meters or even 50 meters away from the 150 feet with a 60 feet access road. It's not gonna be the same comparison. So when it comes to UDS, some like everything else, like we need to do an apple to apple comparison, right? It's not just 200 square yards. It's where that 200 square yards is located. It's where that 29 square yards is located, right? I might have 100 acres somewhere rural, but even 1,000 square yards in Jubilee Hills or Gandipet or Kokapet, why is it worth more? Both are land only, no? So UDS also, I think, like we also have to look at it in a more, like, you know, the comparison should be where is the land, right? So I agree, like because basic math, like I just explained, right? Like sir, in 500 square yards, why square yards, naku anta UDS, but is it on the main road, right? what is the scope for your future development? The same building again. That is the same scope for my building, no?
True.
In fact, I might go higher. I don't have restrictions on my height. You do. So which one is more open-ended growth side? The main road one, no?
Yeah, Vasudha, almost since last few years, I have seen a lot of young entrepreneurs are coming into real estate, especially in Hyderabad. People who are returning from USA. Second generation again studying and coming back to India, getting into business. A lot of women also entering into business as an influencer, as into sales, also into construction related activities as architects and all. So what is your suggestion to the aspiring young entrepreneurs who are coming into real estate industry?
My suggestion is don't even think about it. I mean, if you have the avenue to come, and I'm not going to restrict them to, okay, only real estate or anything as such, right? There is no limit for anybody to enter into any field these days. Before it used to be, oh, okay, you know, you have to do only certain things. You have to do a desk job. You have to do. Now there is no restriction at all. Like if you're talking about girls, they're entering into everything. You can be a civil and you can stay on the construction floor and you can manage, right? There is. I think nobody should have it in their head that this is not for me. Everything is for everyone. If you have the opportunity, don't think about it. Go there. Probably you'll be the first person breaking that glass ceiling and you'll be an inspiration for somebody else. Don't restrict yourself. Go out there.
Good.
That glass ceiling part is fantastic. If you want to break the glass ceiling, no, somewhere you will get a cut, no? I mean,
Yeah.
Yes.
like that journey is harder for the women.
Yes,
Like,
it's-
no
yes.
doubt about it. The journey is harder for the women, more cuts, but you will break glass ceilings. I mean, if ambition is there, like
I mean, no, but right now, like our first generation fathers or parents as such are very open to give us that platform to be able to do that experiment, right?
Good, yeah.
To be able to put our foot forward, and they are asking us to tell that you are capable of doing this. Go ahead and do it, right? That's the responsibility that the first generation or already established parents, they also have to go and encourage the kids, the next second generation, right? There is no restriction. Everybody is doing everything. I think
that
I think our
question should be for
parents-
both genders also.
our parents also, I'm telling you, it is just not us that we are able to do it. Our parents are an inspiration as well because they are letting us do it. They are giving us this opportunity for us to do it.
So interestingly, Sanjana, okay, 3 days ago, okay, NRI from US, he called me morning 7 o'clock and he said, I explored about 25-30 projects in and around Kokapet area. కాకపోతే ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ ఏంటంటే అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ద ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ యాక్చువల్లీ హీ ఈజ్ ఎ ఓనర్ ఇన్ భుజా బట్ హీ ఈజ్ కరెంట్లీ వర్కింగ్ ఇన్ యుఎస్ఏ హీ కాల్ మీ అండ్ సెడ్ దట్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ 25 ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ హీ హాజ్ ఎక్స్ప్లోర్డ్ హీ లైక్డ్ Skyven. అంటే దట్స్ అ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ రీసెర్చ్ యాక్చువల్లీ పీపుల్ ఆర్ డూయింగ్ ఎస్పెషలీ పీపుల్ హు ఆర్ సిట్టింగ్ అవుట్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ హైదరాబాద్లో ఉంటే ఆబ్వియస్గా వస్తారు కదా. సో వాట్ ఈస్ యువర్ ఎన్ఆర్ఐస్కి హౌ డూ యూ సెల్?
So NRIs ki, as a person who lived in the US for so long, I understand that our salary is our hard-earned money, right? When we are trying to invest it somewhere where we don't have a view of what is happening on the ground, or you're always insecure of, "Are ekkada eltundi na money avani." I feel like you do your research. Right? You do your research of all these 25-30 projects or whatever is available right now. Whatever suits you, you put it there. But still, I would say participate in that curve that Hyderabad still has to achieve. Right? Compared to all the other metropolitan cities, we still have that beautiful path. right? All the other metropolitan cities are very congested. The roads infrastructure is not
More polluted.
more polluted, more everything. Hyderabad doesn't have all that, right? We still have this beautiful thing that is coming up, and and you should still continue to pursue to invest in Hyderabad.
See,
Because
like-
they are the one who actually looks
Yeah.
for 5,000 plus SFT
Yes.
apartment where they want to come back and stay in Hyderabad.
See,
Especially in
yeah.
Skyven, right? Skyven is again designed by youngsters. We are using that very forward-thinking, all the points for us to implement in this building. So it is definitely going to feel like home. If you're coming back from the US, you're going to be almost in a similar environment if you come to Skyven, right? Again, Sneha can add to it.
Yeah. So see, somebody sitting far away, right? First thing, trust, right? We are building on a new brand, right? For all of us, and we are young people, right? You cannot expect somebody who's young and who see, we are all young, and we want to make a name out of ourselves too. Although, we could continue to do it on our parents' merit, but then I don't think none of us are the kind of people who want to live off of our parents' wealth, right? Otherwise, there's no point, right? What is the point of living, right? There is no point for Akka to go outside and work for 15 years, 18 years, have the majority of the adult life elsewhere, and then, when everything is settled, they came back very comfortably. They don't need to, she personally does not need to build Skyven to say that I've done something in my life. Like that, I'm very, I know we are close friends, so I know what they've done, right? They've done well, right? Similarly, somebody, I'm not saying I've done well. I'm just starting. I'm 32. I've started working when I was 22. 2 years in Facebook, 5 years in Cognizant. Facebook, I left probably because I am not seeing a structure. Facebook is very open-ended, right? With the same goal, how do I eventually take on business? So if I have to learn how to run a business, I have to be part of somebody else's business, and I can't be in somebody else's business as my father's son. So it is very imbibed into me or her or my other partners as well to see, okay, to what extent do we push ourselves to make something out of ourselves, right? Then I've started something called One Basket with one of Narsi Anna, Ira. Then I took an exit from it. Then I've started one company called Hala Mobility. Me and Shrikant. Shrikant is my co-founder. I took care of finance strategy. Shrikant is the brain, double masters, PhD, whatever. We started in 2019 end. 2020 is when we went operational. Over the last 4 years, we've raised close to 35-40 crores equity plus debt. We are currently valued somewhere around 110-115 crores. So we are at that very weird space where we haven't yet built our trust, right? But what we lack possibly in our visibility into the market, we have with energy, right? The only thing we can do as being younger is we can answer your calls more, right?
True.
You go to the biggest builders, you're not talking to any of the promoters. I'm not saying talking to the promoters is important. You go to the biggest builders in the country because they've been doing that for 80 years, 100 years. You blindly trust and you go for it. Here we are a bunch of young kids who look young, who are young, and we want to do this outrageous thing. So we have to put more effort than a promoter of a larger company, right? Now, today, the advantage that we have is the buyer is thinking before purchasing. They don't have that, am I missing out on something? They're like, even if I wait, that price is going to be there. Might as well do my research, right? Today, as young people in real estate, we are finding that opportunity to talk to more of our customers, right? And when we talk with the same perspective of what we are trying to do, there is only one way I can build trust, right? I can talk, engage with you. You will have certain questions. I will answer those certain questions. You will require certain documents like legal anta అయిపోయిందా, నీకు బ్యాంక్ అన్ని ఏపీఎఫ్స్ అయిపోయినాయా, నీకు ఫండింగ్ వచ్చిందా. You will ask these questions and I'll answer them for you, right? So any of the NRIs who are looking at this, right, the best thing that we can do to bridge any gap that you have is for us to be available to communicate, right? And as long as we are having a communication throughout the journey, that mental stress will not prop up.
True.
Right? Like I think Jeff Bezos said this. Stress is not when you have a lot of work. When you have a lot of work, you don't get stressed out.
Yeah.
You get stressed out when you know you could have done a lot of work.
Right.
Right? When you like, see, today you had a good day. You might have worked really hard, but you had a good day. And you've done everything that you went out to do. You're happy. Even though you worked really hard. But
Yes.
if I know that I could have done more and I
Yes.
didn't do that more, and like because of that I'm in this situation, you're really stressed.
Yeah.
True.
Similarly for a buyer also, right? If he knows what's happening, right, and if he knows there is a good communication line, there is somebody that I can talk to who's the decision maker in the whole setup, the stress will reduce, because in his mind, at least then he's like, okay, I've moved away from these big brands to somebody who's willing to build a brand for the next 20-25 years, right? If I wasn't communicating, he'll be really stressed out, because the big brand is like,
Yes.
the only thing we can do, communicate. We will talk to you. You let us know when you are comfortable. You want us to talk at 11 o'clock in the night, we'll talk at 11 o'clock in the night. You want us to talk at 7 o'clock in the morning, we'll talk to you at 7 o'clock in the morning. It does not mean like, these guys are desperate for a sale. It is our duty, right? We are younger, we have more energy. If we don't be energetic about our own work, then wrong question altogether. No, all of these guys became big because the first gen guy worked as,
The purpose is.
he's
to
my father used to work 9 in the morning to 9 in the night. My mother used to complain, are like, I'm like, you're never in the house, right? Because that was the time when he had the energy, right? When you have energy, you have to work.
Yes.
So for
to
anybody
add to
NRI,
that-
please, if you are remotely interested in the project as well, please feel free to reach out to any of our sales team, any of our partners. Rajshekhar Garu's great place, I mean, great spot to begin with. He'll tell you 2-3 other more projects before bringing to us. But in any case, right, have a conversation with us as well. Why ignore us?
Right, to add to that, right, like make it simple. Though we are second generation, we are in it to make a name for ourselves as well. Our second responsibility is our parents worked really hard to be where they are. We are not going to mess up their reputation. That also is a great burden on us not to do that. And we are here in it to stay for longer, right? We don't want to mess up our first launch project.
Like this will be like, again, like you will be like, what a dreamer, man. Like, but like, why not a home group? See, again, I don't know if I can speak it or not. I'm also part of the Trump Towers in Hyderabad. Like, from not me, my father. Whatever. I know what Trump is charging me. Right?
For
I
the
know what he's
co-branding.
charging me. I know how much royalty I'm gonna pay. I know how much he can dictate in the project. Right? It's a great place. I mean, Mr. Trump built great buildings. I think the Chicago one is
Yes.
fantastic. The New York one is fantastic. If you look at it, even Trump is a second gen. If Trump was first generation, right, those glass black buildings of steel, he would have thought twice before doing that. It costs you more to do that,
Yes.
right? He could do that because he understands, okay, what the business is, how much of my margin am I gonna eat up with it, how much am I gonna gain in the long term on this. And then he became president and all that. That helps a lot too. But if I am thinking, like I had proposals from, I shouldn't name brands with whom I am not collaborated with, but like big brands. Like I think Dubai is seeing this rush Like I think Mercedes has a tower in Dubai. I think
Even Bugatti.
Bugatti. Yeah, I think these guys. Frank Muller has a tower in Dubai.
Even
And
Ferrari.
Ferrari has a tower, right? Like all of those guys are trying to capitalize on a brand which is not even real estate, right? But brands sell, right? So our entire vision of it is we build Skyven so beautifully, the first one in Hyderabad, and then across the next 20 years of our life, working 20 years of our life, if we are able to replicate Skyvens across the city, I mean across the country, across the globe, why not? I might fail at it. I'm not saying like I will 100%. Who am I to say tomorrow something might happen to me? But the vision is that long. That if we build the first one so beautifully, that when I do the second one, I don't want to hear these questions again. Like, that's the only thing I can do. Build the first one so beautifully, the next time I'm like, I'm launching one Skyven in...
Right.
if you are looking in Hyderabad, or if I'm launching one Skyven in Budwell, I'm talking 5 years from now. It will sell. Because I've delivered one Skyven.
You
And I'll go-
branded your...
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yes, that was really nice having a chat with you guys.
Likewise.
Very insightful.
Very
interesting.
insightful. And like I told you, I really love the ideology. I've not met all the others, but I can see how so many different kinds of minds and different kinds of things I think we are going to see at Skyven. Sky Heaven.
One of the words.
Yes. So, yes, it was really good to have you.
Thank
you for having
Raj.
us.
Thank you for
Thank you,
having us.
Vasta.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. And
Request all SocialPost viewers to subscribe our channel, share, like, and comment. Thank you.